Off to a little hike today. I'm going to talk about some things, do a channel update. Now, I can't remember what this is called. I have to double check it when I get home. It's kind of a berry, but you can make teas off of it. And I wasn't expecting to see it like still nice and fresh. So we're going to grab some of these on our way out, make a little tea, and see what we think. There's a whole bunch of nice ripe ones all over the place. Look at all those. Right there, then a whole bunch right there. I'll have to snag before the snow gets them. So we're gonna do some reviews today, get some nice fresh air, get out of the house. As I said, we're gonna do a little bit of a channel update, and this episode is actually gonna be dedicated to Scrambled O, one of the YouTubers, actually the YouTuber that made me decide that I wanted to get into making YouTube videos. And you can check him out in the description below. He's really great, just amazing production value. He's inspired, like my thumbnails on my channel are inspired by Scrambled O. Partially how I started filming my videos in the beginning was inspired by him, and I actually had to stop watching him for a little bit because I felt like maybe too much of his work was bleeding into my channel. And but I got back to watching him, and then he went away for a little bit. He had some issues. He had some problems, and he stopped making videos for about 8 months. And he recently put out a video just talking about why. And what was really cool about the video is he was talking about mental health. And I hate using that word because sometimes it makes you sound like you're crazy, but I've actually been plagued with depression and anxiety. I stopped smoking weed, and that's one of the things I've had to learn how to deal with anxiety, because that's why I started smoking weed to begin with. So it did actually have a positive effect on my life, but the problem was that it started getting out of hand, and I started becoming dependent on it. And instead of fixing the problems that I had, I was getting high because that made me feel better. Ooh, look, we could still get some rose hips. We'll grab some of these too. Those also make, come on, focus, man. Those make tasty little treats. I'm gonna grab a couple right now so we can try them at camp. Get a little handful of them. Camp. What am I saying, camp? We're not camping. There we go. Grab a little handful of those. And so yeah, it was like this thing that I was using as a crutch, and it's like a band-aid. It really helps you cover the problems and mask the problems, but you're not really fixing the problems. Now, if people want to get high, that's fine. I have no problem. I understand that stuff will fix a lot of things, but for me, it just wasn't fixing much. And it was making things worse. And I lost some things that I didn't want to lose because of it. So it needed to go, and it was holding me back in life. Since I've quit, like I've gone down to the fire department, and I've been talking to them about becoming a volunteer firefighter. These are things that I couldn't do before. So it really just held me back. And so I'm thankful that whatever was out there that gave me the ability to not want it. And I think that's the only reason that I was able to quit, was because I just, when I've tried to quit before, I'd get to about a month or even less, and I wanted it the whole time, which was the problem. And I think if you want it, you're gonna end up relapsing. But I got really quick, within a week or two, I was able to just say, you know what, I just actually don't want this. And I was given the opportunity to have as much as I wanted over a couple different time points, and I was able to pass that up. So that made me feel really good, and that told me that, like, oh yes, you've gotten over that hump. You've gotten to the point now where you actually see it as an enemy. And I think that's one of the keys of quitting, is looking at it as like you're an enemy. Look, we got hikers. Can you say hi? Hello. Awesome. Good day? Yeah. Awesome. You guys have a good one, okay? Really nice people out here. Love the people out here. These country people are just great. So I started seeing it as like an enemy, and I didn't want to see it like that anymore. And there were other things that helped me, quit, working out and stuff like that, and just creating a whole bunch of better life practices. So that was definitely something that helped. Definitely something that helped. But it wasn't like a silver bullet. And like I said, when I quit, I immediately realized, oh wow, here's why I started smoking weed. I have really bad anxiety that I'm learning to control. And I think, ooh, let's wait till we get out of the wind for this one. I don't want to. Let's grab the camera. I think one of the biggest things is acknowledging that you have a problem, you have anxiety or depression, and when you acknowledge it, you can then start combating it, and you can start doing the things to prevent it or lessen it. You're never going to get rid of it. You're never going to end it. I think, some people definitely say cure it, but I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say you're never going to. A lot of people are not able to completely get rid of it. I seem to think it's going to be in your life to some extent, but it's about how you deal with it and what you're doing to get around it. And yeah, so Scrambled O put up his video and just really inspired me. I'm sorry to hear. I don't think he's going to watch this video probably, but I don't know him at all. But I hope he feels better, and I hope he continues to work on that, and because it's hard, especially when you haven't acknowledged it. If you haven't acknowledged it yet, and you are still suffering and just sitting through it day by day and hating your life, it just ruins everything. It bleeds into your social life, it bleeds into your work, it bleeds into your finances. It's just not good. So learning these little different things and learning that you have it and accepting that and owning it, it really changed your life for the better. I'd say for like, I don't know, the past 3 or 4 months, I've just kind of been on my A game. And that was because I was like, this anxiety and this depression is just, oh man, this is bugging me. And I just got back into being focused, having a strong workout routine. Yeah, actually, I started working out too much. I was getting to the point where I was injuring myself here and there. Good old calf injury and some tennis elbow. So but I found out that exercise and weight training and running, this was just this massive release for me. Some people have the exact opposite. I feel sorry for those people. I wish they didn't. Some people work out and it makes their anxiety worse, and I just can't wrap my mind around that. But I'm really sorry for them. I don't know if sorry is the right word to use. It makes me sound like I'm looking down on them, and I'm not. But there was another actor that, not actor, I'm not an actor, like to be, but there was somebody from Entourage, Turtle, if you've ever seen that show. He was a kind of a bigger fat guy, and he was told that he was big and fat on the show a lot, and he ended up like losing all his weight, and he just was like, I just got really into this. And so working out has been like my savior right now. One of the things that Scrambled O had said about, you know what, let's save the depressing stuff for when we pull out the bacon. Let's do some channel updates, which is kind of also depressing. Yeah, just really been unhappy for like the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. Just really unhappy. I'm trying, I'm not suicidal or anything, but I'm just really unhappy. And YouTube has been kind of a release for me. I don't know why. It also, at times, can be part of the problem. I'm very self-conscious of myself. This is going to be one of those videos where you either like learn to like me more or you hate me more, or I don't know. I've been turning people off to my channel quite a bit lately, and I've just been dropping the ball a lot. But yeah, I've been having to like learn to like myself and really identify with that song by Stained. It's been a while. Like, man, really identify with that song. So, let's talk about the channel and stuff. Basically, all the videos you've seen me make, I was pretty much depressed through. Coming out here, hiking, backpacking, these are all like a huge release for me. Partially probably because it's, you know, a little bit of exercise, and it's gets you out, gets you breathing that fresh air. But yeah, so pretty much if you see any of my past stuff, it's like, you could also title that video, Depressed Guy Walks Through Woods Alone. I moved out here because I made a choice to, I really wanted to get into this outdoor stuff, and my parents had moved out here. So I came out with them. It's just paradise out here. Just an awesome place. And I knew I could make some great videos, but I also kind of like backed myself into a corner by, like, there's nobody out here. I wanted to make some friends at one point about like 3 months ago, because I got really into like making special effects, and I wanted to like take my videos to the next level and find other people that would like to do like Star Wars fan films. And if you've seen some of my other channels, I learned how to edit like lightsabers, pretty much movie quality, I would say. And I've got sent a whole bunch of Star Wars like lightsabers and costumes. I'm like, man, wouldn't it be cool to make some fan films? And this was like the first time in my life I've wanted to reach out to like other people. And I went on meetup.com, and of course there's nothing in my city. There's nothing in the city next to me. There's just nobody out here on Meetup. It's the country. So when I say I backed myself into a corner, it's like impossible to meet friends out here. And that's one of the unfortunate things that I've learned about the country. Just a lot of people out here that kind of get with other people that probably aren't the best for them, but they don't have any choice. I see a lot of dysfunctional relationships out here. I see a lot of unhappy married couples. And I get why. You got like a population of 1,500, and if you're in your 20s or 30s, there's only a handful of people out here, and you're probably never going to meet them, so you end up settling for whatever comes along. So it was really depressing that I wanted to reach out and make friends, and I couldn't. So I definitely see where I'm going to have to, at some point. The hell is going on down there? Oh, it's probably a gold panner. It's got a tarp, a little beach chair. Oh, it's probably the owner of that house over there. I don't want to like film this house. Well, whatever. I'm not doing anything wrong. It's a bitchin' house, dude. How can you expect me not to look at that? I'd be scared shitless though. We had a huge landslide here you guys saw in my videos, and man, I don't think I could live there. I'd have to sell that. So, where was I at? Yeah, meeting other people. And I wanted to meet other people to hike with and stuff like that. And it's just super like lonely. And I kind of see where I'm going to have to work my way back into the city, or at least a remotely populated city that has some things going on. where do I go from here? So I started making videos, had a really good time, had a lot of success because I have 2 other channels that did okay. You know, Recluse All Night, my Star Wars gaming channel, recently just hit over 1 million views. To me, I'm pretty happy about that. A lot of people struggle to even get a quarter of that, so it's pretty proud. But I've been kind of like spread all over the place. I don't really have a loyal fan base, except for you guys on the outdoor channel. There's a handful of you guys that have been really awesome and supportive and been following me for a while. So I thank you guys. But I'm definitely, and that's how I kind of like relate to Scrambled O, is that he was talking about how he'll get really into something for a little bit, hyper focused on it, and then just lose interest and go on to the next thing. You know, you might end up coming back to that thing, and I'm like that. I have definitely this personality that will just get super hyper focused and into something for 2, 3, 6 months, and then so that makes things difficult, because you'll love something one moment. It doesn't work that way with people. It's just like, and I don't actually consider it necessarily. It's kind of cold. Sorry, excuse me. It's like 38 out right now. So yeah, it causes me to get like hyper focused in things, and I lose track of what I'm doing, and at no point did I really have a firm audience. So it's kind of difficult when you don't have a firm audience that's actually asking for content. You know you're really successful as a YouTuber when somebody asks you to make videos. It's like, hey, make more of this. I'd like to see more of that. Especially when you get multiple people. So, and like I said, I've been spreading myself too thin. Even I'm still doing it now. I started working on my 3rd channel a little bit, and if you go over to my Will For You channel, you can find out in my feature channel list. I've been talking about how I made YouTube money. Whoa, shit, what was that? Did you see that? I think it was a mouse. I've been talking about how to, you know, get views, and how I did all the stuff that I did on Recluse All Night and Will For You. And that's a good example of me not focusing on one egg. So that's been like a struggle for sure. It was really cool though. In the beginning of the outdoor channel, really early, I was able to get sent a whole bunch of products to review because I emailed over 500 companies telling them about my wins with the other channels. And that was enough on my other channels to have them buy into, you know, sending me products for review, even though I had only like, you know, at times I only had 100 subs, and right now I've only got 465. And so if people wonder how I keep saying like I got sent this, no, I actually really got sent it, but it's based off of hard work that I put into other channels and a very well crafted email that I spammed out. It's not like I just got lucky and had people send me stuff. It takes a lot of work and effort to get to that point. So again, it got sent stuff, and that was really cool for me, cool for the channel. Some of the stuff I got sent became popular videos, and Lawson Hammocks sent me a couple hammocks, and those were like $200. So I was really excited about that because that was like a name brand company. And right now I've got, I guess, a pretty cool thing that I can mention, little light channel announcement. I got approved to be a Columbia Sportswear product tester. And I got approved for everything, like hiking, winter sports, running. And what that means is I'll be one of the people that gets to test the products that are in development that are not yet out on the market. So my first test comes up this December 7th. I'll be testing some trail running shoes. And I've got my fingers crossed that it doesn't snow at ground level. Normally we don't get snow at ground level, but my first year here we did, and it stuck around for 5 months. So I'm kind of taking a risk because it's a serious gig. They want you to run in 2 months 150 miles. You have to document it with photos and pictures, and they've got like a little system that you log into, and every time you go for a run, you give as much data as you can, and then you take pictures of the shoes. And so I don't want to drop the ball on this, and it's a big thing for me. And the only way that, if people wonder how I was able to snag this, the only way that it happened was because the winter boots that you've seen me use, the Sorel Conquest, I reviewed it on this channel. It ranks #1 in Sorel Conquest boot. It ranks #1 in like best snow boot. In like 4 or 5 other terms, it ranks within like the top 10. So I was able to say, hey, you guys, you know, I've already got a pretty successful video of one of your products. Would you, you know, it was the same review pitch, and but now I'm not reviewing stuff. I'm actually testing it. So if you ever have any wins like that for other YouTubers that are watching this, you can use them as leverage. And I hate to say it, like, because I know it turns off a lot of people, but I am kind of like a business-minded YouTube channel. In my own words, I'm doing what I love and trying to get paid for it. And if anybody has a problem with that, that's fine. I understand that. If you think I'm not authentic. But I mean, if you're watching my channel and paying attention, how many products have I thrown under the bus? If I was full of shit and giving you guys a line, I'd be recommending everything, because it would benefit me. Those guys that recommend all products, they win more than the guy that says this sucks, because that guy that says this sucks usually doesn't end up selling that product. He doesn't get that Amazon affiliate link. So the guy that likes everything wins, and the guy that doesn't, he'll get kicked in the face every now and then. But I believe that also develops loyalty as well. I've had a number of people say, hey, you know, I really like your videos because you're honest. You're not faking it. If something sucks, you say it sucks. Even though it hurts me, I will still continue to drive that formula. So that was a really good win that I actually needed, the Columbia Sportswear thing. But there were some definite problems. I got to the point recently, it was right around the bear video, or if you were on the channel long enough to see it, the cow video. I got to a point where I kind of felt like I was making content that other people are making as well. And I didn't really feel that there was anything special about my channel. If I was to brag about my channel, I still to this day, if you look at some of my older hiking videos, I don't think I've seen one person on YouTube do more walk-by shots than me. I've done walk-by shots for like over 20 minutes. I think my longest video of just walking by the camera, you know, running, setting it up, all that kind of stuff it was something like I think 25-30 minutes. So that was kind of like my shtick, but that shtick wasn't enough. What I need to be doing is taking my clothes off and going and jumping in ice water and starting fires when I get out of it with a spindle. And I've been doing cold training since last spring. So all this last summer and or spring, summer, and all this fall until now, I've been basically in shorts and a t-shirt or shorts and a tank top. Not outside, but just around the house. I made sure that I always kind of kept myself in an area of uncomfort, so I was never completely warm. And I've been doing cold showers and stuff like that. And this has all been inspired by the channel Rewild University. Gonna link him as well in the description. He goes out and just does this crazy adventure stuff, and he's got some amazing videos about being like a forest monk, and it's just all really cool and authentic, and I've learned so much from him. So Kenton, thank you, man. Thank you for the inspiration. He's the guy that you've heard me talk about, where he went out and spent a whole night basically naked. He only had a loincloth on, in the snow, in the 20-degree weather, managed to get firewood, get a fire started, and hang out all night. I mean, he, in my opinion, is the most savage YouTuber I've ever seen. When you can go out naked in the snow. I mean, they haven't even done that on Naked and Afraid yet. Wow, kind of makes me paranoid walking through here now because there's a lot of landslides. A lot more than last year. I'd have to be pretty unlucky to get caught up in one though. So that's kind of what I've been focused on, is this cold thing. And within the coming weeks here, I hope to be able to pull some of it off, but I don't know. If you guys want me to chronicle this more, if you want to see me taking the cold baths, and not actually just sitting there taking the bath, but if you want to see me suffer and getting in the bathtub that's filled with cold water, let me know. But I've just been paranoid about putting that on the channel, because what if I can't pull it off? What if I'm just not able to get to where Kenton is at? So anyways, that was kind of me trying to drive the channel into interesting, amazing content that isn't being made. Because what I'm doing now obviously isn't driving subs. And some of the things that I've done have pulled away subs. And I've lost a lot of people. Like, for example, this month I lose a sub every other day. Then I gain a sub. And it seems people have... There's 3 videos that I lost subs off of. The first video, well, should I say the first video that caused me a lot of mental tension and turmoil, and actually super depressed me for a while, and that's why you didn't see backpacking trips immediately after that, was the bear video. I had people telling me that I was an idiot for yelling at the bear, and you're not supposed to yell at bears. And then I went and did a copious amount of research, and I'd already read that bear book. You guys have heard this. And I discovered that there was 2 sides to this story. Some people like being really quiet. Some people recommend yelling at bears. And I even backed it up with video proof, showing that, like, look, yelling at bears works. And I challenge anybody to show me a video where yelling at the bear didn't work. I couldn't find any, but I could find so many where it worked with a montage. And one guy even said that, like, it only works on attacking bears, and that's just simply not true. Or it doesn't work on attacking bears. So here's where the landslide was. I guess they rumbled the golf course over there on the other side. Kind of like a country, rural, small golf course. Look at this. Oh, shite. Holy shnikes. All that came down. And they came in and they fixed it really quick, too. One of the... not levee, what's the thing that's like a pipe that channels water underneath of it? It burst somehow. That thing burst, and you can see down there at the bottom there's 2 little pipes. Then they put in a much bigger pipe this time. We're gonna go down there today. I gotta pee. So lost. I should stay focused on track. So the bear thing really, like, just depressed me, man. It really depressed me having to deal with it. And then I had, of course, a lot of people saying that I was a pussy, and excuse my French, and I was a wimp and all that stuff. And whatever, man, if that's what you think, I'm out there by myself. So, no, I know there's a lot of people that go out by themselves, but there's also there's a lot of people that don't. So it was very hard on me on that one, because I'm one of those people that wants acceptance and, you know, good comments and stuff like that, and it just was not happening. And then, like, 2 weeks or about 2 weeks or a month later, I went out again, and my parents had bought me, because they were just worried about me being out by myself all the time, they bought me a Glock. And I didn't realize so many people had problems with guns. Oh, this is steep. And I went on a backpacking trip, had an encounter with bears, and then the same shit happened. It was, you're a pussy, you're a wimp, There's people thinking that I was trespassing. When I just went off to the side of the road on a tree farm. It was just a tree farm, you guys. And I went off to the side of the road in respect of the cows. A lot of people were like, oh, you've never been around cows. You're a city boy, and you've seen me around cows in my videos. There's lots of cows out here. Walking by cows isn't like some kind of new thing. And never had them just come up to me like that. And I showed that video to a rancher and also the Forest Service. And the Forest Service said that basically anything in less than 10 feet, like if the cow gets 10 feet away from you, anything closer than that, you are risking potentially getting trampled. You don't know what's going on. Well, we got to come up here and look for some rocks, you guys. This thing seems to have, that landslide, that's how you find really good crystals. So, what the forest ranger ended up saying is like, you're really taking it and making a risk if you don't do anything and you allow all these cows to come up. And what people didn't realize, and I didn't realize when I posted the video, was that those were young steer. So they were young bulls. Yes, they weren't full-grown cows, but they were as big as, big as I was. And there were some of them that were full-grown in there. And, see, here's the levee. Or not, why do I keep calling it a levee? The old one. So, I guess those kind of cows are very unpredictable. You will get charged by them. I had a number of farmers comment on the video and say, yeah, you don't know. You did everything right, but you just, any closer than 10 feet, and it's becoming unpredictable at that point of how this is going to end. Man, I really gotta pee. We're gonna have a grand old fire today. I gotta pee real quick, hold on a second. So the hard part was I had people that were saying I did the right thing, but I had overwhelming amount of downvotes. When I pulled the video down, it was like 8,500 views in 2 days of uploading it. There's a reason for that, I'll get to that in a second. But most of the comments were, you're just a fucking pussy. And the reason why I pulled it down is I was sitting at my computer and I have notifications on my... I think I might see somebody down here. There are some weird people that come down here. I have notifications on my YouTube, so I see the comments as they're made. And I was sitting there at my desk, and like 3 times in less than 5 minutes, I had 3 separate comments pop up that said I'm a pussy. And it was like, you see it at that frequency, like that fast, that much. It's just, oh man, it wasn't good for me. It was not good for me. And I don't want to feel like a pussy. I don't want to be called a pussy. Who likes being called a pussy? So that really derailed me. And I mean, this is just coming off of the bear thing now. So it's just a huge clusterfuck. It was really hard. And I even kind of debated quitting. I almost just gave up all YouTube at that point. It was just really disheartening. Things weren't going great to begin with. And then that shit happened. That hole is still over there. And I wonder what's in there. Had a lot of mountain lions out here this year. The UPS guy said that he saw 16 and he normally only sees like 2 or 3. A lot of the fires pulled them out of different areas, and we've got tracks here. So yeah, I thought about quitting, thought about throwing in the towel, and it sent me into like a huge depression, and just a huge, massive depression. I started then to, again, hate myself when I had started to like myself. For one of the first times in my life, I actually learned to love myself. Ooh, that is a predator right there. See the nail prints over the... I think that's nail prints. We'll keep going. Let's take a look. So yeah, just it really kind of ruined me for a couple of months. Want to thank Jolly Joel, friend of the channel, all the channels now. Thank you, Joel. You were probably the only reason I didn't quit, and I can't thank you enough for saying the things that you did and reinforcing that you think what I did was right, even though most of society didn't. The video I'm also mentioning, the cows, they, where am I going with this? It's so pretty. I'm actually just kind of having a hard time speaking. I love it down here. The sandy beach is just one of my favorite places in the world. So anyways, what ended up happening was the video got so popular, and I posted it on Reddit, and I shouldn't have posted it on Reddit because Reddit tore me a new one. And I think just everybody was really assuming, and I think it was really easy for people to back up, oh, you're a total wuss, and then get any closer than 10 feet. So that's either a coyote or a wolf. Probably a coyote because it doesn't look too big. Yeah, it's got to be coyote. Because foot's not too big. Wolf would be a lot bigger. Wolves are humongous. People don't realize how big wolves are until you see one. Right here, I wonder if it... That's weird. Look at all the prints. Whoa. Almost like maybe there was a fight or something here. So I can walk down here. That's strange. I wonder what happened here. What do you think, guys? Maybe it's a pack of them. Just came down to get some water, probably. Well, that thing that I saw over here, I think is gone now. I think there's somebody over here. I saw something red over here, and I'm gonna be quiet for just a second. Oh, no, there it is. All getting paranoid. So the video, once it hit Reddit, it got posted somewhere else. I'm not sure where. Maybe like an internet blog or something like that. And it was just people just rolling in. I had 80 upvotes and like 180 downvotes. And like I said, 8,500 views within 2 days. And what was cool is I was actually getting subs. I had more subs in one day. I was getting like 10 subs a day off of it, which is just more than I've seen in a while. And that's the kind of video you hope for. And like when the cow thing happened, I was like, yes, this is gold. This is going to send me into the you know, actually getting subs and exposure and all that good stuff. And it kind of did, but it was just so much overwhelmingly negative comments. And I had a buddy that said, you know, it's still engagement. It's still activity. But, you know, that's not what I want to be known for. That's not... I don't want to be called those things on a daily basis. It's kind of like, you know, that YouTuber Bogey gets a lot of shit, and it's really hard for him to continue doing YouTube because he's like, man, I just keep hearing people tell me I'm fat all the time, and it kind of sucks. And so at some point the video hit mainstream media, it went out to my mainstream media. I mean, I think it was popping up somewhere like on the recommended suggested videos, because I had people coming in that were seeing the video that weren't outdoors people. I had, you know, younger people that made Minecraft videos and coming in and telling me I was a pussy and all these just terrible things. And I noticed that it was once I started to get to the non-outdoor crowd, that's when it became a problem. It was no longer outdoor YouTubers giving their opinion. And it was basically, if you weren't an outdoorsman or an outdoors person, it was overwhelmingly just negative. And I just didn't want to deal with it, so I ended up pulling it down. And it was like having a good horse, a really great horse that gets you where you need to go with, you know, without many breaks, and it's just really a strong horse, and it's a fast horse, and you got it for a good deal, but you got to go out and you got to put her down. You got to put her down and turn it into glue. Isn't that what they turn horses into? Glue. So that kind of destroyed me a little bit, having to finally get this video that's popular and just end it. And so I pulled it down, and that was that. And it's been kind of hard getting back into the swing of things ever since then. Another example was I put up just a small video of me and my family shooting guns, and apparently that was just too much for some people to handle. Within the first day of uploading it, I had lost, oh man, 4 or 5 subs. And ever since then, I continue to lose a sub here and there. Now, mind you, there was also, I put up a video that I said I wasn't going to take down, and then I had one of my, I don't know what to call it, a sponsor or a partner that was like, dude, we'd rather you not have that video up there. I'm not going to say who it was, but it might start with a C. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to screw up our relationship here, so I'm going to take it down. And that video was basically me apologizing and throwing myself under the bus for going on other people's YouTube channels and spamming, should I say, I hate to say it, you know, that fake comment, oh, good job, another good video. And which, it's something that plagues the outdoor community. More than any other community I've seen, you get a lot of those guys, and they think they're doing really good. It looks like they're doing good. It looks like they got a lot of views. It looks like they got a lot of subs and a lot of comments. But when you start looking at the comments, it's just YouTuber, 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 YouTuber. It's not actual normal, real people. And to be successful at this, you gotta be getting normal people in there too. YouTubers aren't gonna pay the bills, and your watch time probably is gonna suck because they're just stopping by for a moment to make their comment. And it was at a time where I was kind of struggling, and I had, you know, looked up, you know, how to get YouTube views, and they're like, just say a simple comment on other channels and the views will come. And I did that, but it was a bad idea. Apologize to everybody in that video, and I'm apologizing right now. It was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. So I'm losing subs. Oh, shoot, sorry. I'm hemorrhaging subs, should I say. Well, let's get a fire going, and we'll continue this. All right, here's a really cool spot for us to hang out, talk about depression and stuff. I got a little bit of firewood going. Let's go get some more. Look at this. Found a oyster? Guys, can I be getting oysters out here? Is this a clam? I don't see any more. I don't see any like oyster spouts. But that's cool. I didn't know those were out here. Weird. Should we go look at the hole? That's bigger than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to be real quiet in case there's some kind of weirdo bum sleeping in there. There's no footprints, so that could be animals in there. Holy shit, dudes. Whoa. I'm gonna save this for when we got some light. Hello? Sheriff? Anyone in there? Doesn't look like it. The ground's wet. No prints. Yes, you did hear me ready my gun. You don't know what's in there. Oh, I'm surprised we didn't come over here last year, so guess what? We gotta come back with flashlights and go see what's in the cave. It's gonna be miners. People come out here and mine for rocks and all kinds of stuff. And just these hills are rich with gold. I live in probably one of the best areas in Washington State, and possibly even the United States for gold. This river here is just filled with it, and you guys have seen me complaining in the summer about the dredgers that come out here and do dredging. You haven't even seen me this whole video. I'm feeling self-conscious. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Blue. Assuming I'm in focus. Doop. Boop. I can't wait to see what's in there. So we're gonna come back tomorrow with the L flashlight-o and see what's in there. And now we just gotta go get some more, a little bit more firewood, man. Holster this. Just don't want that falling out. So yeah, man, this is a fun day. I actually get some therapy talking to this camera because I don't get to come out here with other people. So you're my other people. You guys that watch these videos, I've asked you before, like, I seem to have like around 50 or 60 of you that watch the video consistently. Like I would say that's my video average. Can you please comment and just let me know that you're watching? Can you let me know what you're liking, what you're enjoying, what you want me to make more of? Oh my goodness, look at this beautiful moss. Hello, moss. I would love to hear from people. Don't be that guy that's super quiet and doesn't comment on the video. You're not helping me, and I can craft better content and more content of what you guys like. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you've been enjoying. Oh, that's way too wet. A lot of this stuff is way too wet. Excuse me. I need some water. Yeah, I want to come down here and look for some rocks, man. What kind of sucks about this side is there's no good crystal mining. Here, let me show you a quick picture of the crystals that I mined over on the other side of the mountain. So here's all the crystals I was telling you about that I mined out. My favorite ones, like this one. It's really cool. This one's really cool. And then a whole bunch of itsy bitsy ones. Some of these were just like laying on the ground, and it was a landslide that freed them up. Focus. Focus. I like that one. This one's cool right here too. Please excuse the person in the background sneezing. People are sneezing. This crazy rock had... Look at this one in the light. It's got this weird stuff in it. And this odd thing. I don't even know what this is. But yeah, crystals are cool. I forgot to show you the best one. I made a magic wand out of it. It doesn't work though. Whoops. It's pretty big. I don't know what I was doing. But, yeah, like I said, it doesn't work. I don't know what I did wrong. So that's what I mined over on the other side of the mountain. Oh man, what an adventure that was. So much fun. I went, you have to hike like, I think it was 4 to 8 miles in. And it was called the Denny Creek. So if you're in Washington and you want to do some actual crystal mining for real cool crystals that can get pretty big, we're talking even scepter size, you can go to Denny Creek, and just Google it, Denny Creek Crystal Mining. It's an awesome place you can go and mine. But there's a bunch of weirdos out there. We had somebody get like a gun pulled on them, and those crystal people, man, they're some odd ducks. And so that was super fun. That was one of my first adventures that kind of got me into, wow, all of this stuff. And yeah, is the autofocus on or off? No. There you go. Boop-a-doo-ba-doo. Sorry if I was not in focus. So yeah, that was super fun because you go out and you just dig in the dirt, find crystals and different cool stuff. And so wet. I'd love to go back out there, but there seems to be no quartz over here whatsoever. And that's the stuff I like. I like the stuff you can like make necklaces and stuff out of, or my little wood spot. This stuff's kind of dry. See, that was a lot of fun being able to go out, like I said, and mine. And I want to get more into the gold out here. Start doing that stuff. Kind of wet, but we'll take it. Let's move back to camp and get this going. Okay, we're gonna put the fire right here. I got a little bit of semi-dry tinder. But it doesn't have to be totally dry. I just wanted to make a bed. And I also have, I'm not full bushcraft yet, not into that yet. I want to be. I got the Instafire fire starter. Really like this stuff. I've been kind of lazy off and on throughout the summer and even used it at my house. Just pour some of that on there. Gotta be enough right there. Doesn't take much. You get a lot of uses. It says like for, what is it? Long burn time, 10 to 15 minutes. Something like 4 uses in this. I can't remember. I can't find the, oh yeah, lights up to 4 fires, but yeah, you can light a lot more. 4 with. Come on, don't make me look like a dumbass. I've got a sunflower spindle I want to make this week. I got dried sunflowers, so hopefully I can start doing that more. My fire starting skills are just awful. There we go. That'll work. That'll get it going. So anyways, yeah, depression and stuff. It sucks. Anybody's going through it, I definitely feel for you. One of the things I've learned is when you get depressed and you realize it, you start looking for like this one thing that's gonna fix everything, and this one thing to do to not be depressed. And I think everybody probably goes through that when they first identify it. That this sucks, I don't feel right, and I don't want to feel like this anymore. So they look for things to try, things to do. And there is no one thing. I made a depression video on my other 2 channels. It's if you look on Will For You, you'll see it's like 26 ways to cure depression, and just little tiny things. Because at that point I had really realized that you have to do a lot of things. It's not one, big change. It's a whole bunch of little changes that add up to you feeling better. So if you're suffering and you're trying one thing, no, you gotta be doing 10 different things, 15, 20, 30 different things all at the same time. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna keep getting what you're getting. And there's so many people that have depression and anxiety that don't realize that. Like, if you're not happy, it's because of the actions you're taking. I know sometimes it's really easy to point fingers at other people and stuff, but most of this stuff is self-inflicted. This cow stuff that I was talking about, the bear stuff. I do have a choice of how I can look at this. When I grew up as a kid, I wasn't like really popular at school. I was the nerdy kid. that wore the Schnikes with the fake air. So, and I went to like a 4-star school, and just there's a lot of things that made me the nerd loner, and some of that stuck with me throughout life. And when I dropped out when I was 16, I started finding and becoming who I am. And I still to this day haven't figured that out. When you heard me talking about going on and trying to find people on Meetup and stuff to get into film with, that's a product of me realizing who I should be hanging out with, what kind of people I should be hanging out with. And I was never able to find that group as a kid, so it kind of stuck with me. I'm very, you know, self-conscious and things like that. So, where am I going with this? Oh yeah, identifying it and doing multiple things to cure it, not just one. Sometimes it has to be your diet, sometimes it has to be your way of thinking, sometimes it has to be getting off your ass and, you know, doing exercise. But it's difficult. It's really, really difficult. And when the cow video and stuff started depressing me, and the bear video, I at least had done the research previously to identify, uh-oh, you're falling into depression. Don't let this take over your life. Because if you're like me, you can easily let it just completely consume you. And it will, at some point, put you, or at my worst, not this last stint, not this last depression stint. The last one, like, you wouldn't even know it if I didn't tell you. I was able to identify it and do the things needed to combat it. But the one before it, oh, there was a moment where I probably stayed in bed 14 hours a day, stopped doing anything, stopped taking care of myself, stopped cleaning my room, stopped doing, like, really anything. And it was bad. Like, at one point, I remember just, like, I remember staring at the walls a lot. I would just zone out, and it really sucked, and it made me really unhappy. But I've got it under control now. I can identify it, like I said, so it doesn't hit me as hard. And that's so important that you identify it, and so many people don't identify it. They just let it take, they just think they're unhappy. And well, how long have you been unhappy? If you've been unhappy longer than 6 months or a year, you know, it might be depression. Being unhappy is normal. It's your body's way of saying that, like, stuff sucks. You're not always supposed to be happy. I'm gonna get kind of ranty because I'm gonna hop all over the place. I just don't know what to say with some of this stuff. Scrambled O had said something about, I can't repeat it, but he had this really good motto for, like, the spring and the fall being in nature, you know, the changing of seasons, like the changes in our bodies. Actually, I hope he doesn't mind, I'm going to play the quote from his video. So that really identified with me because I had a similar quote that life is like a wheel. Sometimes we're in the light, and then sometimes we get knocked down into the mud, and it just keeps on going like this. And I've had times in my life where I thought, this is how life is going to be now. This is what life is like, and life will continuously change. Right when you think you've got everything figured out and nailed down, shit will turn on you, and you'll have to deal with some other problem. So, try not to get too discouraged, and try to seek out other people. The Reddit had been a lot of help to me, reading about other people with anxiety, other people with depression. It was Reddit that was able to help me stop smoking weed, because I was hearing how it ruined other people's lives, and it made it so they couldn't fix it either. And I was just really thankful for all those people that were posting their experiences. And that's why videos like this are so important, because when you hear about other people going, When you hear about other people going through what you're going through, it makes it significantly easier to deal with. Just a lot easier. Because you don't feel as like alone in that sense. And if you're somebody that can give advice and help and things like that, I highly recommend that you do. I highly recommend you make videos like this. Now, before I forget, you're supposed to tag somebody on this. This is actually like apparently a challenge that started with some other YouTubers, and Scrambled O had tagged some other people, and I don't really know who to tag because I don't know anybody that's depressed. At least nobody that's saying it and open with it. So I'll tag you. If you have a YouTube channel and you're watching this and you're not happy, make a video about it. Make a video about how you're dealing with it, what you're doing to deal with it. If there's anything you're doing to deal with it, just talking about it and having others listen to that can be so powerful. You might not realize it, but you are helping others. One of the reasons I like superheroes so much. If you've ever seen some of my shirts, and my room has like a lot of superhero stuff in it. I didn't really I liked them as a kid, and then until I was like 33, I didn't read comics or get back into them. But a lot of people think that comic books and stuff are just a bunch of bullshit. It's kid stuff, and it's really not anymore. Comic books never really were kid stuff. They were maybe only kid stuff in like the 60s, but ever since like the 80s or even the 70s, the stories are incredibly deep. They're about relationships. They're about overcoming problems. They're about a lot of people with disabilities read comic books and they get a lot of motivation. Like Cyborg, you know, he was in the Justice League movie, the robot guy. Apparently a lot of amputees and stuff like that think he's pretty cool. And comic books and superheroes helped me because they don't really show it in the Marvel movies. The Marvel movies really they kind of focus on the kind of kid aspect of it almost. But in the comic books, their lives are total shit. Their lives suck, and they're constantly doing things to overcome them. Superman, for example. The Man of Steel run in particular. If you look up Superman, Man of Steel. Superman on TV is portrayed about this goody two-shoes that can do no wrong. Well, some people would argue in the more recent movies, but he's, in reality, in the comic books, he's a total fuck-up. He makes the wrong relationships. He gets in relationships and tells people that, you know, he can't be with them and stuff like that. People that love him. He abandons people. He gets people killed. And I don't mean get killed, but he gets people put in situations that they shouldn't be in. And you hear about this in like other comic books like Daredevil and Spider-Man, that it's really dangerous to be friends with these people because of the people that they know. The other side of that coin is like their lives are just really bad. So that kind of makes me feel empowered when I read comic books and I read these stories and see that they dealt with it. I know it's a fictional character. I know it's not a real person. But it helps. Helps a lot. Helps talking about it, especially like now. I don't know who's listening, but I hope that it helps you. And I hope it inspires you, if you're suffering and having problems with that, to talk about it and be open with it. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this one. Nope. Let's set it over the top. Trying to flatten this out now for my pan. For my bacon pan. Bacon pan. Trying to think of what else to say that I haven't already said before. I'm not happy now. I'm definitely not happy. I'm not suicidal or anything. When my parents bought me this gun, they realized, they're like, oh God, maybe we shouldn't have got him that gun. And I'm like, no, I've never even considered suicide or anything like that, ever. And I feel bad for the people that do. I mean, there's been points in my life where I've had a really, really good life and money was just flowing and everything was great and I wouldn't change it for the world. And I was happy then, and so that's kind of like what I'm striving for. I know a good life can happen. You're making so much noise, I can't talk, Bacon. I'm gonna let the fire kind of get some coals going before I put that on. You're so loud, Bacon.
Nice, tasty bacons. Mina wants silly fish and potatoes. He wants bacon.
I haven't done my golem for a while, it kind of sucks.
Yes, Smeagol likes tasty bacons. Tasty bacon's so good.
Is that Smeagol or is that Meatwad? Sounds more like Meatwad.
Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Meatwad.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force? Anybody? No? So yeah, I guess that's where I'm sitting right now. The cow and bear video did its damage, and I'm coming back from that. There's definitely more than a few times where I thought about quitting and going back to real life. And then I saw this picture that was two people mining in the earth, and they were mining in a straight line. So it looks like they were kind of like carving a hole or a tunnel like we just went through, right? And one guy's halfway through his tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel there's some diamonds. And then the other guy on the bottom of him, he's almost all the way through to the diamonds. He's only got a little bit of dirt left to get to those diamonds, and that was a really good analogy for me. And you combine that with the saying of, you know, I can't remember the saying, but it was something about like, at one point, you would have given anything to be where you're at now. So I kind of feel like if I was to quit now, I'd be throwing away a ton of effort that's gone into all of this. And there's things I really want that I can't have right now because it wouldn't be right. Like, for example, man, I wish I had a girlfriend a lot. Like, I really missed companionship a lot. Like, so much. But I'm not making enough money to take care of a girl, and by take care of, don't get wrong, don't take that out of context. What I mean take care of is like, you know, a girl likes to be taken out for dinner once or twice a week. She likes to be taken shopping once a month or more. If you could do more, that's pretty crazy, but if you're getting taken shopping in all in today's economy, geez, even if it's only every 3 months, just somebody telling you, hey, let's go buy stuff, that's a pretty fortunate thing. And if you're at that point in your life, man, just be so thankful. Just be so grateful that you can do those kind of things. So, to me, it was like, for a while there, it was like, man, I'm really super lonely and I have no friends. Well, I have friends, but they're all online. There are people I play games with, there are people I talk to online, and some of them I've never really met in reality. So, but it's at the same time, that's not human companionship. That's not somebody that I can take on a hike or, you know, go on a date with or whatever. So, for me, I was like, I think it's just best if I don't, you know, strive for that right now. Because I want to be able to, you know, do those things, you know, take her shopping, you know, take her out for dinners and stuff like that. I know a lot of people that definitely have girlfriends that support things like I'm doing. I know of a number of YouTubers that were having their girlfriend basically pay their bills and stuff, but I didn't want to be that guy. So I just kind of decided it's not best to do that, because trust me, I could go down to the local bar here and pick something up, but what am I going to be picking up? Somebody that really wants something out of life, somebody that's hanging out at a bar, and now I got to go through the, like, hey, I'm not making much money right now, like, I'm on a part-time income, I can't do the things that I should be able to do for you. So that's kind of depressing. But when I saw that picture of the guy mining, he's mining away, man, and he's almost, I heard something. He's almost to that. He's almost to that gold. So if he quits now, what is he going to be giving up? And a lot of this stuff, you know, YouTubers, I've seen a lot of people that get into YouTube and they think that they're going to get instant success, and instant success can happen. It's rare. You got to be making content that's super amazing. It also helps if you're a super pretty girl. But from what I've seen, it takes anywhere from 2 to 8 years for this to work. Some people get lucky and they get it done on their right out the gate. I had a friend that had success with a Dungeons and Dragons channel. And the thing is a lot of this stuff is timing. He had just made his D&D channel right when the new Dungeons and Dragons game came out, and he made one of the best videos teaching people how to do it, and it launched his channel. When I was a Lyft and Uber driver and I made my Lyft and Uber videos, the timing was perfect because so many people were jumping in to quit their jobs to go drive for Lyft and Uber. So it's almost like you're in college for a little bit. You're not going to make any money for a while. Sometimes it's going to take over a full-time amount, more than 40 hours a week at times. Depends on the time of the year. And yeah, there's definitely times I'm not going to say I'm just like busting my ass at 40 hours a week every week. But I mean, so there's some weeks I've worked 80 hours a week. Some weeks I've worked like not at all. And that's also part of what makes me want to keep doing this, because I've at a part-time income right now, I've been able to at least feel what it's like to be my own boss. And that's amazing. So many people are worried about that dollar. They're worried about getting those nice shiny cars, that big house, 5 cars. Cypress Hill, anyone? But they get the big house, they get the 5 cars, and they're not happy. This is one of the biggest things I've seen in looking up like self-help stuff about being happy. God damn, I gotta make sure I'm recording. If I'm not recording this, I'm going to be pissed off. Okay, no, I'm recording. So they get their big house and they get their 5 cars and all that stuff, and they're still empty. They're still miserable because they're not living. They're just working to buy shit, and they think the shit's gonna make them happy. I was given a bunch of money at one point from a settlement, and I bought shit to make me happy. There's something I want, I bought it because I was in the impression that money could buy happiness. Now, money can buy happiness. Tosh 2.0. You ever see anybody upset, unhappy on a jet ski? No. Money can buy, what's the word? Monetary happiness. Definitely, if you have money to pay your bills, that's going to make you happy. If you have money to give to somebody, that is struggling with something, that's going to make them happy, and it's going to make you happy that you could give. So anybody that says money doesn't buy happiness is full of shit, but it can buy some happiness. You do have to do the rest. But what my point was, is why I'm continuing to do this, is there is a small amount of happiness. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just completely walking around like Ross from Friends when he's not dating Rachel. By the way, really identify with Rachel a lot. You know, somebody in her, well, I'm in my 30s and I still don't know what's going on, but she was in her like late 20s and just was like, I don't know what to do with life, and all of her friends are making good money and they've got their careers and jobs, but when I looked on like for like motivational self-help stuff, there was just so many people that would post about saying, hey, you know what, I got that white picket fence, I got that shiny new car, I got that trophy wife, and I'm fucking miserable. That, I would say that's over 90% of those people. I want a simple life. I know, as much as it sounds, I want a simple life. I'd love to have a tiny house. I'd love to build it my own, on my own. And I'd love to be able to travel and have that time and money. And it really doesn't take much money to be happy. Fuck, I could live like a king, super happy, travel the world, and have my own piece of land with my own piece of property, and I wouldn't even need more than $1,500 to $2,000 a month. For some people that sounds like crazy, but just life got a lot more simple for me. There's a lot of stuff in life that you just piss away your money thinking that you want because everybody else has it, and then you get it and you're like, whoa, this is not what it's cracked out to be. So I continue to strive on. I continue to try to make that dream happen, and I'm just getting a little muddled up somewhere along the way, and I need to fix some of this, which is all doable, no problems. I can still fix it. I'd really like to get back and travel more. I got to go to Mexico a couple years ago and just had so much fun, and now that I don't have to have weed, and Mexico was actually what proved it to me when I went out. I was like, wow, my life is just so fucked up that's why I'm smoking weed. Like, if I'm out having a good time with other people and traveling and stuff, I don't even need it whatsoever. There's a part of my life where I really regret it. I regret it almost every day, where I was hanging out with a friend and I was like, man, you know what would even make this even better right now is some weed. And the friend was like, you know, why do you need weed right now? Because then it was like, this is a great time. Why do you're not as happy as you can be? And I just, with my eyes, I didn't see it that way. I just wanted to get high for fun, because it kind of did enhance things, but I regret that a lot. Every single day of my life, I regret that. So I'm doing the best I can. I really didn't have any role models or anything like that growing up. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone were my role models. So that was kind of difficult. Kids definitely need role models. You need somebody to aspire to be like. And that didn't even show up until my 30s. I spent a lot of my time in my 20s just spinning my wheels, going to work, being unhappy, every 2 to 5 years finding a new job because I would either get promoted as far as I could and then get bored of what I was doing, and just didn't want to be, I've never wanted to be that guy that's like working at the same job that you do the same thing for the most part for 20, 30, 40 years. I like variety. Variety is definitely the spice of life, and it's one of the many reasons why I started up making YouTube videos. Time to get that bacon on there. So yeah, I definitely want to give up, especially sometimes, so I can get those things, so I can go and get a girlfriend and go on, you know, vacations and things like that, but it is what it is. They'll come in time. What was weird is there was something posted on Reddit that was like talking about how people started meeting other people that they wanted to be with, whether it was a friend or a girlfriend, when they started doing what they wanted to in life. And this is like the first time in my life where I can honestly say, like, yeah, I'm actually happy with well, shit. Let me rephrase that. I'm kind of happy with where things are going. And I can see that if I keep doing what I'm doing, I will be rewarded for it, even though it's a little bit of a struggle. It's taken a little bit more time than I wanted it to take. But, you know, if I look ahead 2 years-ish, I think I could really be somewhere. If I can manage to start doing some new, unique things that aren't viewed as much. You know, if I can stop walking by the camera and filming just day trips and actually start making some really quality content. I've certainly got a lot of stuff sent to me, but I'm happy about, and I'm happy that I'm making any money at all doing this. That's huge. Yeah, you know what's crazy is you don't realize how much money you spend going to work when, like, so you buy lunch every day, and then you might buy that coffee on the way into work, and then you might buy that coffee at lunch, and you might buy an energy drink later that day, and then next month you need some new pants, and then you need to put some new tires on your car, and then you need an oil change, and then you need gas, and then you need to get an apartment or a house closer to your job that technically isn't where you want to live, and you're paying too much for rent for a place that you don't really want, so you can be closer to your shitty job. I don't want to end up like that. I also want to get into film really badly. I wish I knew people that wanted to get into acting and stuff like that. Like, I really wanted to do those things and even try acting myself. But there's just, unfortunately, out here, there's just nobody here right now. It's a very small town that I live in. Tonasket, Washington. Oprah came out here once. The Bush people live out here now. Those Alaskan Bush people. That show is super fake, but they are out here filming their show. And they only live about 5 miles down from here. Side rant. But they lie all the time. They said when it flooded here that they couldn't get out of their houses, and no, they could still get to town. They just couldn't get to one of the other towns, so they made it sound like that they were trapped, and they told everybody it took them 40 miles to drive into their house. They're saying that they're living in teepees. You guys remember when I would go up into the mountains and get ate to shit with all these bugs? Well, they're saying that they live at that elevation. And they did mention the bugs in their videos, but it was like, dude, you couldn't exist out there in teepees, and it was a complete, so much bullshit on that show. It's amazing to me how many people think it's actually real, though. Like, wow. So anyways, I definitely want a simpler life. But I want to be the boss of myself. There's nothing better than not waking up to an alarm. There's nothing better than not having some fool tell you what to do. Nothing better than not having to deal with some asshole at work that's just got it out for you because of no reason. And I think a lot of people would really like to be their own boss if they even had a taste of it for a second. It's worth not making as much money. If you can even make $1,500 to $2,000 a month, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, But if you're your own boss and you're not paying for all those expenses to get the work, it just adds up a lot, man. Like, you don't have to have a lot of the things that you're purchasing. And if do your math yourself. I challenge people. Like, take a look and see how much money you're spending on just work. And when I added it up, I was like, holy shit. I had a friend at once, oh no, not friend, my ex, she spent like 70, I think it was her commute to work was something like 150 miles one way. And she did it in like a Dodge Neon, and it was just, oh my gosh, so much money was spent just getting to work. And then they're not happy. They spend all this money, and they're just miserable. And they have no free time to spend the money. They have, like, sure, oh, you might have a nice retirement, but if you do your business right, you can have a nice retirement anyways. In fact, if you start your own business, you might have a better retirement than other people, because you could potentially be employing others down the line. Or just keep what you're doing because you're doing what you love. You're making money. Joe Robinette, one of the other YouTubers, he's really inspiring. That guy does what he loves. Just bought his dream house. He's out there backpacking, doing all this cool bushcraft shit. You know, one of the things that we're going to be doing this year, actually, you'll probably see it next week or so. For Christmas, I got a set of cross-country skis. And early Christmas present. So we're going to be taking those cross-country skis up that mountain that we hike on. And I'm going to ski down that thing. So, we should have some pretty action-packed videos that we'll be able to make. This is delicious. Let's do some more. I love bacon. I love you guys too. Thank you for watching stuff like this and commenting and upvoting. Really appreciate it. I don't know if it's the best time to mention it, but I do have a Patreon if anybody wants to support the channel in any way. If you don't totally understand, I try not to mention this stuff. I've had that Patreon for a long time, and I just haven't felt like I've been making quality enough content to actually mention it. But if you ever want to support the channel, there's a couple ways you can do that. On my, go out to my main Will Wilds page. Off to the right-hand side in the upper right-hand corner, there's patrons and there's donations. Or you could just continue being a cool viewer, leaving thumbs up, and talking to me in the comments, and I would love that. Also, if people are looking, if you're a YouTuber, or anybody, and you'd like to do an interview with me about depression and anxiety and stuff like that, for my other channel, love to do that. So just hit me up. And also want to talk about, well, my other channel, Will For You, I've started to do how-to videos on YouTubing. I talked about how I've made over $40,000 on YouTube on one video, and finding trending topics on the other video. And then I also started a new channel, just for fun, a storytelling channel, where I read short stories and I try to make it like an audio drama with sound effects and voices, and I'm doing the best I can. So that's called Dimensions of the Unknown. I'm put those channels in the description below, so you can check them out. Maybe subscribe, maybe not. Trying to work up to doing that cold stuff I told you about, where I would go out into the snow. I think probably this next week we're going to do it. We're going to try our first dip in the freezing water. The goal is to come out here in this freezing water and just like completely submerge ourselves naked. And then we're going to get out. And at some point I want to do like a nearly naked overnight, but I've got a lot of stuff that I need to do before I can do that. The cold training, though, like I said, has been a big part of that. And if you want me to chronicle that, I can, but it's just going to be mostly me showing you me hopping in the bathtub with cold water.
Oh, come on! Come on! No! Oops!
I also want to thank you if you're still watching this video and you've been watching this the whole time. Wow. Thank you. I wish people would tell me, though, in the comments that they're watching, and because that's who I'm talking to when I'm out here. I'm talking to you guys. Oh, another thing that kind of disappointed me, didn't help my depression either, is when I put up the gun video. Now, please, let's not take this out of context. You don't have to unsubscribe just because I voted for something that you didn't. Had a guy that what sucked, it was one of the people that was watching all of my content, like to the end. They're watching completely all of the videos and a lot of watch time. And I mentioned that I voted for the stricter gun laws. Yeah, I believe we should have stricter gun laws. And apparently a lot of people in Midwest states don't. And I commented that I was surprised that a lot of people voted against them. And I had somebody kind of mention that, oh, most of the guns, you know, bought in those mass shootings and stuff were all bought, they were bought illegally. And I posted something, and I'll post it in this video just so you can take a look. Down at the bottom, that was showing that no, all of the it was like 70% of the guns purchased in mass shootings were purchased legally. And what was even more messed up is a lot of these people had like prior convictions. They had it wasn't like mental health problems, but they had violence in their lives that got reported with the police. The guy in Vegas bought 33 guns all at once. Shouldn't you be able to, like, shouldn't the gun owner call somebody and say, hey, this guy's buying 33 guns in one purchase. Maybe something's up. Maybe we should just do an extra background check. That's it. But, you know, I lost that guy's support and good comments, and what sucks is that person was, I don't want to say becoming a friend, but it was becoming somebody that I was enjoying talking to, and I really didn't understand the need to unsubscribe because I thought we should have stricter gun laws. You can still get your guns, guys. You could still buy your bullets. It's just going to be a little bit more inconvenient, so you have an extra 10-day waiting period, so you have to take a course. I'm all for people taking a course. I'm all for, after seeing that 70% of these guns were bought legally and a lot of these guys had convictions. Like, look at that thing that I posted down in the description. And it shows you about all the killers and that they had some kind of mental health problems. They had violence that had been documented, and we still gave them guns. And that's who I don't think should be getting guns. No, I don't think you should be able to get a gun after you beat your wife or you beat somebody else up. Sorry, you're unpredictable. I know it's America and everything, but we got to have some standards here. So that really let me down. And then I had a friend too that out of just nowhere, a good friend, I don't even know what happened. I've actually had this happen twice. Maybe I'm just that big of an asshole. They just completely stopped talking to me. And that kind of sucked, but oh well. Maybe I'm the bad guy. We're gonna have to burn this up and eat this bacon. I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish the rest because it's getting pretty dark. I love bacon. Bacon loves me. To think about what else is going on. Yeah, so I hope to do a lot of cross-country skiing this winter, starting this actually Sunday, and hope to be doing some of that cold training stuff. But man, it is hard. Freezing your ass off outside kind of sucks. Whatever. We got enough fire here. I'm doing it. Guys, I'm going for a whole half pack of bacon. Fuck it. Fuck it. Yes. Give me that meat. That delicious old meat. Ow! Normally, I would never wipe my hands on my pants, especially if I was backpacking. No way. Day trips, that's okay. Man, it's getting cold. It is getting cold.
love it down here so much. Such a cool spot. Thumbnail. 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 Oh yeah, look at that, good. So, Scrambled O, he's probably not watching this. I guarantee he's probably not going to watch all of it if he even does manage to come by. It's a long-ass video. But I hope you do better, man. I hope you start feeling real good. It sounds like you're feeling better now. Congratulations on buying the house and the wife and all that good stuff. And for those of you that have a good life going, and you got friends that aren't, and maybe they talk to you about their problems, you know, don't be afraid to talk to them about your problems. What drives me nuts is I have a host of friends that I know that in my entire life of knowing them, some of them I've known for years, some of them I've known for many years, I've never heard them come to me and say, you know what sucks? This sucks. This thing that I'm going through right now sucks. This problem that I'm facing is just really difficult, and you know, I just want to mention it to you. Like, it makes, I think that's one of the big problems with social media and YouTube channels in general, and your life can look really good when it's not. And often, stuff like this, you know, it can distort the channel, or distort who you are. Ah! Don't be afraid to tell your friends what sucks in your life. It makes them feel better for sure. I'm not saying you have to be a whiner, but it drives me nuts. And like, the whole time I've known you, you've never had any problems. Your life is just lions, tigers, and bears. There was a little GIF I remember seeing online, and it was a picture of like what your friends' lives are really like outside of social media. And it was like a movie stage with fucking fireworks going off, shit exploding, people jumping out of a window, another guy falling through glass, and it's like, yeah, don't be afraid to share those things with people. It makes you look like a human being. Or I'm totally wrong and your life is just fucking perfect. I think that was a little bit of venting right there. Not targeting it at anybody in particular, but I'm getting smoke in my eye. Bacon's almost done. And we have about 45 minutes before it gets to the point dark. Maybe 30. So we're just gonna eat this bacon, this delicious bacon, and then we're gonna get out of here. I meant to come here and do reviews, but that didn't really work out. And that's glass. Yeah, I didn't expect to talk this long. I think I'm getting some like super therapy from this. Thank you guys. You guys are like my shrink. Just ate a half a pack of bacon all by myself. That's pretty good. I think we could come down here and camp. This would be really fun. We're definitely gonna come back, I think tomorrow, check out, see what's in that tunnel. Very interested to see. That thing looked like it went back a ways. And when I like echoed in it, it sounded like it had some girth. So to my friends and family and all the people that are left in my life, and thank you very much for being there and just being good people. My hair's all fucked up. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And if you end up making a video, if you're another YouTuber and you end up for some reason watching all of this or part of this, and you end up making a video about depression and anxiety, let me know. Post it down in the comments below. Don't be afraid to put it on my channel. I'd love to watch it. Why was I picking it up with my hands and not this? This is so much easier. Woo! Look at that bacon grease. Rah! So when we're done, I like being close to the water so I can just take the pan here and flick it into the fire. So I always take like if I cook bacon, I normally don't take soap with me. So I just take a bag and then I put my bacon pan in there. Would never do that if I was backpacking ever. Ever. What is it about pigs that are so good? Bacon flavored stuff always sucks though. You ever notice that? Smokey the Bear wants it dead out. Alright, you guys, I'm going to start hiking back. Appreciate you watching so far and following along. And I'm going to pour a little bit more on this, and I'll catch you guys on the next video, okay? Take care, and I hope everybody starts feeling better. Or anybody that's not feeling good. Awkward ending. Will out.